Shalom, 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 family. Call halal barakatah Yahweh through the spirit and power of the throne of King David. All praises due. Peace and blessings unto you, family. Um, we got through chapters 20 and 21. Y'all ready for some more? I'm just gonna jump right into it, man. Since y'all done had the buffalo wings already, we just gonna jump into the next course, all right? So this is chapter 22. More reading to do. Got 6 more chapters to go. All right. So let's hit chapter 22, starting at verse 1. Now, among the prophetic spirits that spake was a man named Gabriel. Now, alongside Gabriel walked Virginity herself. Now, the eyes of Nathan began to bleed as he gazed upon Virginity. And Nathan said within himself, that power have taken the beauty of Bathsheba and multiplied it 7 times. Damn. You know how niggas was getting in trouble already, but looking at her ass. He turned it up 7 times higher than that. And Nathan withdrew the fishing rope from the sea, and behold, the fish he had caught at the first had bitten on the rope, and Nathan now held the fish from the first. And Virginity disrobed herself and cast off her garments. But Nathan durst not look upon her nakedness, for Gabriel had said unto Nathan that if he or anyone look upon the nakedness, they will go blind. But when Gabriel said this thing regarding the nakedness of Virginity, that whosoever looketh upon her will go blind, the fish that Nathan now held was at the time that Gabriel was speaking in the troubled sea. And so, because the fish was in the troubled sea, while Gabriel spake the word of power, the fish heard not the words that Gabriel spake. Wherefore the fish looked upon the nakedness of Virginity, and that was the last thing the fish ever saw. Damn, man, a fish couldn't even look at her. Now behold, the mouth of the fish opened itself up wide at the sight of the naked body of Virginity. Marvel not that beauty at its highest blinded the fish, for it also turned the fish into a stone of gold. And Gabriel spake unto Virginity and said, Behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb and bring forth a son, and shalt call his name Yahushai. Now you know it even say Jesus in here. But we know what his name is. Verse 13. And Gabriel looked upon Nathan and continued to speak of Yahushai, but now spake unto Nathan and said, Yahushai shall be great, and he shall be called the Son of the Highest. And the Lord power shall give unto him the throne of his father David, and he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end. And Nathan the prophet went unto King David and presented the golden fish unto the king. And because the golden fish, Nathan gained favor with David from then on. Y'all see how he made it go full circle? The fish looked upon the nakedness of Virginity, right? And the fish turned to gold. All right. And because Nathan had the fish, he presented the goldfish to David. All right. And Nathan gained favor with David from then on. All right. Verse 16. And David prayed unto the Lord and said, O power. And Nathan said unto David, Call him Abba. And David said, Abba, make me some living fish like as unto this goldfish. And the Lord heard the prayer of David, but David knew it not. Verse 17. And it came to pass, when after the child of David and Bathsheba died, that David would always go to some quiet place to cry for the son he had lost in death, and to cry out to the Lord in sincere prayer from the heart. not to lose another child like the one which died while still an infant. So one day, while Bathsheba was about to give birth to the second, Solomon, David remembered and realized that he had forgotten to go and find a quiet place alone to pray and cry out to the power, as he was wont to do before the birth of each of the sons he had begot by Bathsheba, ever since they lost their first son. So David left Nathan alone with Bathsheba, and he went to the sea to cry unto the power. And as soon as David left the room, Nathan found himself alone in the room with Bathsheba. And he remembered the time in the past that he had loved the sight of her, and yet lusted after her. And he would not do it a second time, for he now knew that this was his second chance to this time to pray right. So Nathan laid himself in the same bed as Bathsheba while she was with child, and he laid his head on her belly, and he spake unto the unborn child through the belly of Bathsheba. And he said, Hi, Jedediah, it's me, Nathan. And the baby kicked so hard, it hurt Bathsheba's insides. And Nathan said, What are you doing, Jedediah? And the baby kicked again. And Nathan closed his eyes and said unto the Lord, Abba, I have called him Jedediah. I have done what you have asked. And now I will not hide my feelings until love becomes lust, but instead I will honestly express myself. And Nathan the prophet kissed Bathsheba on the forehead. And he said unto Bathsheba, God, I love you. But Bathsheba thought that Nathan was just telling the power that he loved the power. And Nathan never said it again. And within that same hour, Bathsheba gave birth, and Nathan delivered the baby while David was absent. For he, David, had left to go to the sea and pray. And swiftly upon his arrival, after entering the green bushes nearby the seashore, David came nigh unto the waters, and he said, Abba, with tears in his eyes and grief in his heart. And as he wept over the waters, he saw a multitude of fish, and they were all goldfish. And David found comfort with the power, for he knew that power had made the goldfish just for him. Verse 18, Now behold, it came to pass that David and Bathsheba had a son, and they called his name Solomon. And David said unto Solomon, Ask power for wisdom, and he shall give it to thee. All right. Now, Solomon had issues, wisest of all men. But what is wisdom? Is it something that can be possessed by a man? No. Wisdom is the good taste of the many fruits which groweth on the trees, which cometh from the roots, which cometh from the seed, which cometh from the earth, which cometh from the space through darkness, and is of the light, and is bound to the light, not by covenant, but by total iceness. Now, David desired to build a house and put power in it. The power said, No, I live not in houses made by the hands of men. But David would not listen. And the Lord knew the heart of David, that this thing was important to him. So as a gift of a blessing for the sake of David, and also for Nathan the prophet, the Lord used Solomon, the son of David, to construct a house dedicated to him. Chapter 23. Now behold, for the sake of joy in the heart of David, the Lord allowed David to see the first house of the Lord built by the hands of his son Solomon. And David watched his son from heaven, and was often standing next to his son in spirit, but Solomon knew it not. And Solomon was thought of many to be Hamashiach himself. Wherefore, Solomon had many followers, and he took to himself wives of all which he chose. And Solomon had small stables built for his horses and his asses. And Solomon was rich with earthly and worldly goods, and he used his material wealth for his own disadvantage to do these things which are not convenient. So y'all better hold on from here, okay? Y'all better hold on from here. Ooh. All right. Verse 6. And Solomon had small stables built for his horses and his asses. And Solomon was rich and with earthly and worldly goods. And he used his material wealth for his own disadvantage to do these things which are not convenient. And Solomon looked down upon women with hate, and a woman's life was worthless in the eyes of Solomon. Howbeit, Solomon had a wedding ceremony and feast at one time, and he married 700 wives, all at once. And all of the wives of Solomon were brought to the stables to live, eat, and sleep with the horses and asses. God damn. So, I just want to warn y'all. You're getting ready to find out why Yahushua had to go to the cross, the real reason. You're getting ready to find out why the Bible said it pleased the Lord to bruise him. All right? Solomon was on some pimp shit. Y'all hear that? He built a bunch of stables. He married 700 women, and that's where they slept. That was their bed. In the stables, in the hay. All right? Fucking barn. Anyway. Now that's y'all brother now. Don't, he paid the cost. Right? But it's going to change your perception. And now you're going to see why, all the way up until now, there was nothing wrong with giving some reverence or some, to Yahushua, but he knew it in himself. And that's why he said, don't call me good. Only the Father is good. All right? You're getting ready to find out why. It's not a disrespect to Yahushua in any way. All right? But you're getting ready to find out the other side of his life and his past. What did the Bible say? The Lord requires that which is what? Past. So this is stuff you've never heard before. So just brace yourself, all right? Verse 7, 23 and 7. And Solomon looked down upon women with hate, and a woman's life was worthless in the eyes of Solomon. Howbeit Solomon had a wedding ceremony and feast at one time, and he married 700 wives all at once. And all the wives of Solomon were brought to the stables to live, eat, and sleep with the horses and asses. And the wives of Solomon were made to stay in their stables with the horses and asses, and were not allowed to leave without permission. For Solomon himself, and this decree was ordained by Solomon, and any breaking of this command was punishable by death by the sword. You got your fucking head cut off if one of you bitches leave the stable. I told y'all, Solomon was on some pimp shit, all right? Verse 11, and permission was never granted to leave because Solomon feared lest his secret would be revealed. Not that Solomon was ashamed of his wicked, licentious lewdness and evil deeds, but rather Solomon did not want to lose those followers who believed him to be Hamashiach. Ain't that some shit? They knew that under King David and him being his son, they knew he was special. He had already built one of the houses for the father, right? So they said, oh, well, they started worshiping him. So Solomon hated these women, put them on lockdown, handcuffed them to the barns, and wouldn't let them leave because he didn't want them talking. All right. Verse 12. Often Solomon came down to the stables and said unto his wives, whosoever can last the longest shall receive a true queen's reward. Go near unto my horses and make my horses go in unto you and outdo the horse. And when you have worn out one horse, I will bring you another and outlast each other. And I will take the two winners unto my chambers, and the two winners will be mothers of my children. I shall grant unto them the seed of the son of David. Now, Solomon made these women fuck horses. Y'all got that? Now, where was Yahushua born? Wasn't he born in a manger? Well, now you see why. Now you see why. All right. Verse 13. And Solomon became exceedingly rich in wealth of gold, money, and earthly riches, because he has 700 wives, and he made harlots of all his wives all day and night long, 6 days a week. So then, like I told y'all, Solomon was on some Fillmore Slim, sugar-free, Iceberg Slim pimp shit. He started pimping his wives out, man. Now, this is new information. I know, this shit is fucked up, all right? This is why when he came back as Yahushua, he had to pay for all this, man. But let's keep going, all right? 6 days a week, he was pimping them 6 different ways to Sunday, right? Verse 14, and Solomon said unto his wives, that if they made him enough money, they would be removed from the stables to a better place. But Solomon never kept his word with a woman, nor suffered he ever a woman to speak. Of all his wives, none could speak with their mouth, but instead they were taught to express themselves with their bodies. And by chance, if any should happen to speak without direct, specific permission from Solomon regarding what could be said, then the tongue of that wife who spake will be cut out and removed. So he like, bitch, don't talk to me. And if you did open your mouth and say anything, pull your tongue out and whack that sucker off, man. Verse 15, but no tongue of the wives of Solomon were ever removed. Not that Solomon would not have done it, for the Lord knew his heart, and he verily would have done it without hesitation. But it never came to that, because warnings were given first. And for a first offense of the law, for the wives of Solomon to be silent, all of the talkative wives' teeth were removed, and their tongues were partially cut, but not completely removed. So he knocked their teeth out, man. Removal of their tongues were threatened next, and having no teeth was a constant reminder to fear Solomon and take him serious and not speak. And the wives of Solomon disobeyed him not, so they kept silent at all times unless Solomon himself asked them to speak with their mouth. Now, the 2 wives of Solomon who prevailed in the horse endurance contest, the horse endurance contest, had to endure the flesh of horses and asses for 3 days, but one of them endured more flesh of horses and lasted 4 days, and her wound was very abused because of the great size of the flesh of the horses. Y'all know horses got an eggplant down there, right? Verse 18. And Solomon had finished building the house of the Lord, and he brought his 2 wives, who lasted 3 or 4 days, into the house of the Lord. And Solomon said, Go therefore at altar, and bow down on your knees, and give thanks unto the Lord, for this day the 2 of you shall conceive seed from the son of David. Wow. And the verse 19. And the 2 wives fell upon their knees and bowed their heads to the floor, and Solomon came in behind them and grabbed them where they were most sore from the flesh of horses, and Solomon lifted them high into the air and pulled them apart as wide as he could with all of his strength, and he gave seed unto them one at a time, and he took turns on them in this manner. Ooh. And they screamed loud in pain, and everyone watched. And the more louder that they screamed, the more harder Solomon squeezed and pulled apart the sensitive part of their wounds, which are already sore from enduring the 3 or 4 days of great size horse flesh. So Solomon took his gorilla ass in there. He was dicking them down. He liked it to hurt. So when they screaming, you know, he going harder. It's some cold shit. Yeah, I know. Hey, look. I know y'all didn't expect this shit, man. I know you did. But this what he did, man. This what he did. Solomon was dicking them down. And he fucking them after horses. All right? It was expressly written in the law, in the Torah, not to do. Okay? Shit. You thought him just leading the northern kingdom off? Shit, that was bad too, but man, Solomon's wickedness was fucking unfounded. This is why the scripture said that David was going to come to earth and rebuke him. This is his rebuke. And this is what he didn't want to get out. All right? And this is why we've changed. Not that Yahushua is wicked or nothing. He's not. He's not. And we know that it really wasn't his fault. It's something that he had to go through. But we got to clear the record. All right? We got to clear the record. So this is what's going on now. So I want y'all to bear with me as we finish this. Hell of a story, right? All right. Verse 21. And Solomon suffered not the people to see the bloody abused wounds of those 2 wives of Solomon until after he was finished demonstrating to everyone his acts in the temple. So he took them to Pound Town in the temple. Okay? 22. And then Solomon put their abused, bloody, bruised, stretched, red, sore, torn, damaged wounds up on display for everyone to see. And he said to his 2 wives, Stay here and don't move. And he said to the people, Let everyone in the temple come and see the blessed wounds which will bear the seed of Solomon, the son of David. And everyone came near and could not believe the extent of damage that had been inflicted upon the wounds of the wives of Solomon. But the people knew not about the 3 or 4 days of the horse endurance test. Wherefore the people imagined that Solomon himself had managed to do this with his own loins, caused that much damage and pain to the wounds of his 2 wives. Therefore, the word was spread throughout the earth that King Solomon, son of David, had the thickest loins on the whole earth among the sons of men, that there were no loins thicker. Y'all think of bullshit. Look, y'all, you see that shit? The thickest loins. See there? The thickest loins. All right? Ooh. Look, man. Look, I know y'all don't want me to stop, right? But I got to, because I'm out of time almost, right? But dude, Solomon was on some nigga shit. This is nigga shit. This is nigga shit. Let me break this down in layman's terms. This nigga had 700 wives. All right. He kept these motherfuckers in a stable. All right. That just let y'all know that all these pimps that y'all be, you know, that's that wrote books and shit. I read pimp books, man. I read Iceberg Slim when I was 14 years old in 3 days. I was like, God damn. Okay. When they talk about the hoes in my stable, where you think they get it from? This the originator right here. Solomon. I told you Solomon started a lot of shit. He's the reason for the Masons, the Shriners, all that dark magic and all that bullshit. Remember I told you that? Well, here's the proof. So this nigga got these women and got them pounded out by big ass horses. You know, horse dick, what, 14 inches? Shit fucking probably big as this goddamn bottle. 3 days they had to last. So you know them pussies was like, all right. Then this nigga cut their tongues, the ends of their tongues off so they can't talk, and pull their goddamn teeth out their mouth to keep them quiet. See? And then he get everybody in the temple, all right, y'all. Y'all, I'm gonna let y'all watch me get down. Yeah! Got them screaming and shit. Yeah! Right? And then when he get done, he take them up there. Now look, hey, look at my work, y'all. I just put the seed of David in these women. Look at them. They couldn't handle me. So like, God damn. Now you know ain't nobody get to see the king dick, right? So Solomon was putting forth some false information indirectly to make all the people think that his dick was just hanging and swinging. All right, we'll find the truth out later. All right, but you know, I believe there's a way it originated where every man want to be known for having a big dick. All right, which don't mean shit. You know, big or small, long as you got one. All right, it's supposed to be used to impregnate and for your ass to take a leak. But how many damn movies, songs, all kind of shit all revolve around having a big dick? Well, it's right here in the book of the prophet Nathan. See? Nothing new under the sun. Solomon did some dirty, nasty, grimy nigga shit. Okay? Now, I know y'all don't want me to stop, but I had to, you know, smooth that on out. But guess what? I'm feeling good today. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to chop this off, and I'm going to start the next one, because we're in chapter 24. This is where the shit really gets fucked up. All right? So, I want to salute the royal house of David. Bear with me as I get this next lesson going. All right? And I know what y'all thinking, man, but show all love to your brother, Yahweh Shai, man. This is why he had to come back. This is why he never said a mumbling word. I used to ask myself, God damn, how the fuck did he deal with these Pharisees? They all in his face. He just was like, you know what he was saying to himself? Yeah, I deserve that. I deserve that. I deserve that. I deserve that. Because he knew what he did. 33 years of grief. He had to pay for that shit. And the Most High put it on him every day. And he couldn't say shit. Love your enemies. Bless those that curse you. Pray for those that despitefully use you and persecute you. Yeah. Now you see how he did it. He ain't had no choice, man. But I ain't done yet. We're going to find out some more escapades of Solomon, because he was a rascal of rascals. All right? So, y'all sit tight where I'll bubble up another pot of grits. All right? All love to y'all. See y'all in a few. This is your King and Shepherd, and I'm out. Shalom.